Riggs, the head coach of the 10-time champions of the Indoor Football League, the Sioux Falls Storm. The Kurtiss Riggs Show being brought to you by Sioux Falls Specialty Hospital and Orthopedic Institute. It's the Kurtiss Riggs Show on 98.1, 1230 Sports Radio KWSN. Here's your host for the Kurtiss Riggs Show, the Silver Fox, Rich Roste.
And good afternoon. And hi, everybody. I'm Rich Roste, and welcome to the Kurtiss Riggs Show. Coming up on the show, we'll be talking to the head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm, Kurtiss Riggs, about the games around the Indoor Football League. And we'll also talk about the Storm's win up in Greenbay, Wisconsin this past Saturday, 56-49. And we'll talk about the game coming up this Saturday as the Storm travels down to Wichita Falls to take on the Nighthawks. And we're all looking forward to that bus ride all the way down to Wichita Falls, Texas. Now, coming up on the show, we'll also be talking with a couple of Storm guests. We'll be talking with running back Robbie Rouse and defensive back Matt Hermanson. All of that coming up on the Kurtiss Riggs Show. Then later on, after the interviews with the two players, and also when we go off the air at the end of the show, we'll be giving away 3 sets of 4 tickets. 3 sets of 4 tickets to the next home game. That's going to be on May 6th as the Storm hosts the Spokane Empire. And so we'd take the third caller, 336-1230, after the 2 interviews with the players, and also when we go off the air at the end of the show, 336-1230, 4 free tickets for each of those sets. Now, the Kurtiss Riggs Show is proudly presented each week by the official Storm sports medicine providers, and that would be Sioux Falls Specialty Hospital, the Storm official healthcare team, and the only 5-star rated hospital in Sioux Falls, and by Orthopedic Institute, the one to trust. Coming up next, he is the head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm, Kurtiss Riggs, and you're listening to the Kurtiss Riggs Show right here on 98.1, 1230. Sports Radio, KWSN.
You're listening to the Kurtiss Riggs Show, brought to you by Sioux Falls Specialty Hospital and by Orthopedic Institute on 98.1, 1230 Sports Radio, KWSN. Back to the show. Here's Rich Roste.
Each and every week on the Kurtiss Riggs Show, our opening interview with the Storm head coach Kurtiss Riggs is brought to you by our great friends over at Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs, and they've been sponsors since day one. Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs, come see what fresh really is, and they deliver anywhere in Sioux Falls, and their subs are just breader. He is the head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm, Kurtiss Riggs. And, Coach, that was we'll be talking about the game up in Green Bay, but it seems like it takes me longer to get over those bus rides than it used to.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rich. It just seems like it's always a great time for the team to get together and bond, but you don't share that same excitement on the way home, it seems like, or the next day.
Oh, the next day, yes, or early in the morning in between, all of that kind of stuff. But anyway, this past weekend, it was an interesting week around the Indoor Football League. We'll go through some of the games. Cedar Rapids came very close to upsetting Iowa Barnstormers. Barnstormers won 31-25, but Cedar Rapids was in a position to win that game at the end and came up short at the goal line. Tell us about that game, what you know about it.
I really, besides what you told me and as you kind of gave me the updates after, that's really it. I haven't watched any of it. We don't play either of those teams for a while, so it's not one that really I was I was more interested in the final score, wishing Cedar would have got a win there, and other than that, I really didn't watch any of that.
Okay. But anyway, just to me, it looks like Cedar Rapids is still, they've struggled this year as far as the wins and losses. They are 1-8 on the year now, but they're continuing to work at it, and that's something I feel very good about their coaching staff, what they've done down there. It's been an uphill battle, but I appreciate what they continue to do. In other games,
the one thing I would just add to that, Rich, is, the one thing defensively, they play hard. They do, and I think it's when their offense doesn't turn the ball over, they're always going to be in the games, and that's, you could tell by the low score that's probably what happened.
Other games around the IFL, Nebraska defeated Salt Lake at Grand Island 49-30. It was a good win for Nebraska. And then Spokane went down to Arizona, and Spokane came up with the 9-point win, 60-51. And I was actually kind of surprised by that Arizona didn't win at home. Tell us what you know about that game.
Well, I watched the end of that. After you and I got done with the radio broadcast, I went down to the coach's locker room. We were able to watch the last 5-6 minutes of that game, and it looked like Arizona just couldn't match or keep up with Spokane offensively. And they just kept going empty sets, and the quarterback for Arizona, just couldn't continue to handle the pressure every play, and he ends up turning the ball over or 4 plays and out, and then Spokane was able to. That was the difference. They were able to get a big field goal that put them up 9 at that point with 50 seconds left, and they were able to get the win.
And with that, Spokane now leads the Intense Conference, 6-2 on the year, followed by Nebraska, that's inched up into second place with a 5-4 record, and the loss drops Arizona down to 500 at 4-4. So that Intense Conference matchup is really getting to be very contested. It's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. But the biggest game of the weekend, the biggest upset of the season, in my opinion, was Colorado Cursh defeated the Wichita Falls Nighthawks 77-73.
I mean that was one that we were able to watch Friday night, and it's surprising that Colorado beat them, but I think it's even more surprising now after everything that we've heard that's going on there, and the amount of points that they put up. And when I watched the film, it looked like a lot of missed tackles. A lot of times where Wichita Falls is in position to wrap up, make the play, and they miss. They break the tackles, and they're able to really make Colorado's really able to make Wichita Falls pay for it. And they had some big penalties that helped Colorado, but Colorado was down most of the game, and they just stuck around, and then at the end found a way to win.
Tell us anything else that you know about the Colorado situation.
Well, their coach was let go. Coach Jose Jefferson was let go, and it seems like the owners with the franchise they're planning on creating their own interactive league. I know that's what they wanted to do that with this league. They wanted to come in and every team be interactive, and they really wanted to take over the league, and owners were resistant to that. They were willing to bring them in and say, let's try this, let's see it. And I think Francise was probably disappointed that the other owners didn't jump on board right away, and probably more disappointed that fans haven't really bought into what they're trying to sell the way that they envisioned. And so because of that, they're taking their ball and going somewhere else to play, or trying to, and contractually they have to fulfill their obligations to getting through this season.
Well, I feel bad for Jose Jefferson because we go back so many years. Jose was a part of the Lincoln Lightning back in the Cobra days, and he coached at Sioux City during those great rivalry years down there and back in the league. And for him to be able to turn this team around down in Colorado, to come up with this big win down there over Wichita Falls, and then to be let go the next day, that is really disheartening.
Yeah, it is. And, I talked to Jose quite a bit, and I don't know if getting this win was turning things around down there, but it definitely was a big win for them, that's for sure. They play hard. It's unfortunate. Coach Jefferson always finds himself in this, he's in a similar situation in lacrosse, and it's too bad. Yeah, Mankato. I mean, he didn't even get a coaching game there. So it's unfortunate, but you know what? He told the players, stay, play out this season, because I wonder, part of me thinks that's what Francise wants. Let's get rid of the coach and a lot of the front office people, and then the players will walk out, and we can tell that the league we don't have a team. And I don't know. That's total speculation there. I don't know all the inner workings of this, and but it's very disappointing though that this ownership group would come in, and I think I have not been a fan of this from the first day. I was very turned away by their presentation at league meetings. And I know Kevin Guy also was. He and I both outwardly spoke out against what they were offering, and we thought it was very gimmicky, and it was used to try to take advantage of the consumers. But there was a chance to make money, and that's what was intriguing to a lot of people in it. And that's the way the franchise people really sold it. And plus, they seem to be a very strong ownership group, which they are if they're doing what they want. And I think that's one of the biggest issues right here is that they have to follow the rules, and they have to play within the rules, and that's what they're not liking.
Thank you very much for those comments. I really didn't know how to handle this today, and you handled it for me, and I appreciate that very much. Well, Coach,
I'm sure I'll hear about me saying something I probably shouldn't have, but that's all right. Anything for you, Rich.
Get me off the hook. I really appreciate that. No doubt about it. I'll get your back sometime down the road.
I don't doubt that one bit.
Well, Coach, hang in there. We'll be back with you in just a bit, and we'll be talking about the game up in Green Bay. And you've been listening to this first segment brought to you by Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs. Their subs are just breader. We'll be back right after this. This is the Kurtiss Riggs Show right here on 98.1, 1230 Sports Radio, KWSN.
Hey, you there.
It's about growing your bottom line. Now, there are two ways you can do this. Increase revenue and decrease spending. This is where we come in. At A&B Business Solutions, our managed print services will optimize your print environment, reducing your total printing costs while improving workflow. Managed print services will impact your bottom line. MPS, it's just another solution from A&B, the company that helps you solve, simplify, and save.
Sunday night and you're relaxing before you start the work week when suddenly your furnace goes out. Luckily, Waterbury Heating and Cooling is here to help you 24/7. We are your local Coleman dealer and will get you back to comfortable in no time. Coleman is known for their dependability and value by saving up to 50% in energy cost. Call Waterbury Heating and Cooling at 338-2692 when emergency strikes, and know that they will be there for you even at the most inconvenient hour.
The warmth from this weekend is being replaced by cooler temperatures here for the work week. Still mild this evening, but readings will fall down to 42 by tomorrow morning. A couple of showers around. For tomorrow, the brisk wind will continue, a high up to 48 and a better chance of light rain. Much cooler on Wednesday. Temperatures struggling to warm through the 40s. From the KSFY TV Severe Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels.
You're listening to the Kurtiss Riggs Show, brought to you by Sioux Falls Specialty Hospital and by Orthopedic Institute on 98.1, 1230 Sports Radio, KWSN. Back to the show. Here's Rich Roste.
And this segment and game recap and highlights is brought to you by Eastway Bowl and Eastway Lounge, our Storm away game viewing party hosts. That's Eastway Bowl and Eastway Lounge. They had another packed house there last Saturday night. Just a lot of fun watching Storm football with Storm friends. And also, Budweiser Beal Distributing, thank you for all your sponsorship out there. The next viewing party is this Saturday as the Storm travel down to Wichita Falls to face the Nighthawks. He is the head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm, Kurtiss Riggs. Coach, we went up to Greenbay, Wisconsin to take on the Blizzard. Right away out of the gate, the Storm is down 17-0 after Green Bay converts 2 turnovers into 10 points after scoring their own touchdown. What was going through your mind at that point when the Storm was down, starting the second quarter 17-0?
I wasn't worried about the score at all. I was like, are we ever going to get the ball back? And then what are we going to do that third play? Are we going to be able to get through the play without turning it over? It's just 2 plays the first quarter and 2 turnovers, and just to look as terrible as we did there, I didn't even have a chance to really, take in, hey, we're down 17-0. It was more about what's going on here. What are we doing? What are we doing wrong? Why are we doing this? And how do we get us back on track? And I think once we came out that second quarter, especially offensively, we played really good football right up till the very end of the game.
when I look back at that ball game, I look at four turning points, four key turning points in that contest. We're going to be talking about them through the highlights. And the first highlight is with Greenbay leading 23-14. This happens. The Blizzard leading by 9, 23-14. Clock at 3:34 and counting. Very fast moving first half. And now deep on the right side. And they're going to loop around McDonald, and he will join Buford in the right slot in motion. Back to pass. Barron fires end zone. Picked off by the Sioux Falls Storm at the 3-yard line. And bringing it up across the center to the 10, to the 15, and bringing it all the way out to the 24-yard line. And getting that was Elijah Fields. And that's his 6th, check that, the 5th interception this year for Elijah Fields. Leads the Sioux Falls Storm with picks. And that turnover turned into 7 points for the Sioux Falls Storm. And at that point, the Sioux Falls Storm was trailing by 2, 23-21. But that, I think, was one of the first turning points, classic turning points in the ball game. What do you think?
Yeah, and more so because it's
quarter, and the Storm was leading by 6 points, 49-43. And Greenbay was poised to take the lead, but the Storm defense had a goal line stand, which I think was the second turning point of the contest. And then the very next play, the turning point number 3, was this highlight. So it is incomplete, and the Sioux Falls Storm defense holds on downs. And the Storm leading by 6, 49-43, 9 minutes even. 9 minutes even to go on this fourth quarter clock. Pitch back goes to the left side, goes there to Robbie Rouse. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Robbie Rouse, he takes it coast to coast as he goes 49 yards on the touchdown. Robbie Rouse set a new IFL rushing record for a rush for touchdown, 49 yards. That's for this year. There's been others that have had 49-yard touchdown runs. But Robbie Rouse gets that record for this year, and that was the turning point, I thought, number 3 in the contest.
Yeah, I think both of those, you're exactly right. A big defensive stand, and then, we had that play just dialed up. We used it for a touchdown earlier, but it was a much shorter one. We knew they would be very aggressive down there, and it was one where you call it, you wait and see how they come out, and then decide, are you going to take time out or not? No, run it. And as soon as Robbie got it, there was nobody out there, and then it was just a matter of if he could outrun everybody.
And I think he was running on a touch low tank of gas by the time he got down to about the other end at the goal line.
Yeah, the longevity part is not Robbie's strength, but the quickness part, the strength part, those are definitely his assets. But when he got out there, you knew he was going to find a way to get in the end zone. I thought our defense had another goal line stand, Rich. They gave him a touchdown, and when you watch on film, I mean, it looks like the ball was definitely short, and one guy signaled down, and the other guy on the far side signaled touchdown. And I really thought that was a poor, between the two officials, the play side guy, the guy that has the ball right in front of him, he calls it down, and the guy on the other side that has all the bodies in between them calls touchdown, and that was on a 4th down play too. I thought our defense made it tough down there to have to score against us.
In our third highlight, the Storm is backed up against their own end zone. 1 minute left to play, and I think this was turning point number 4. 3rd down and 10 for the Sioux Falls Storm at their own 3-yard line. Need to get out to the 13 to pick up the first down. Quads to the right side. Fumble on the play. Lorenzo Brown from his end zone throws it upfield. It's caught. It's caught for a first down out to the 20-yard line as Robbie Rouse. A busted play. Holy help me, Hannah. All the things that could go wrong for the Storm. One thing went right against the Blizzard. Oh my, a first down for the Sioux Falls Storm, 54 seconds. The ball was fumbled. Lorenzo Brown, everybody chased after the football. Lorenzo Brown picked it up and just launched it upfield for Robbie Rouse, and he caught it for a first down, tackle at the 21-yard line. And that was like, and you said it was just a fortunate series because the previous play, or 2 previous plays prior to that, there was another fumble that the Storm was able to recover on the 3-yard line. So that going wrong until that final play secured the win with the first down.
Yeah, it reminded me of when we played at Wichita Falls last year. You know, we start the game off poorly. We're down by 2 scores. We fight our way back, play great football, take the lead, and then at the end of the game against Wichita Falls, too, we fumble. We back our defense up. They get big stops. This time, though, we go to hand off on first down, and Lorenzo gets the ball, and you can just see it on film. It just, squirts right through his hands. He said it was just soaking wet, and he can't get it to Robbie. Goes right at his chest, and Robbie just lunges for it right away and gets it, and then throw in the buttocks, and and pick it up and know where his guys are going to be, and is able to find Robbie downfield.
It was an exciting finish to the game, but we talked about it after the game was over in our post-game interview, is the fact that even though things struggled at times, things were being played very well at times, championship teams find ways to win, and that's exactly what your ball club did up in Greenbay last Saturday.
We did, and we saw some early obstacles. The turnovers, Carlton Watkins getting hurt, Richard Smith having to play both ways the entire game. Corey Williams had to go on for a little while on defense when Elijah Fields went out. I thought our defensive ends played probably their poorest game all season. And so for us to overcome all those things it says a lot. Every team will go through those on the road. You're going to have times where you just don't have it. You just don't have that it factor. And how do you overcome that? And we're able to do that.
It's oftentimes said in sports when a team didn't play well, does that mean really that the other team did play better?
Well, I think Green Bay played well. I thought they did some really good things. Their quarterback is really tough to stop. I mean, he's one that when he scrambles to buy time. And that really is difficult for your DBs. It's really tiring for a defensive line because you're constantly chasing. And then he's got some good receivers. I think the Bramswig kid he reminds me a lot of Judd Harrell.
Oh, yeah.
He's just very big, physical, strong, and, he's good at going up and getting the ball.
Well, Coach, you get the win up in Green Bay, 56-49. Any other final comments? There were some injuries during the course of that game. Watkins got hurt and different things. How's their situation?
Carlton checked out today fairly well. So, it's one of those you just got to wait and see. We'll wait and see how he does, how he progresses through the week. And everyone else is doing fine. Okay,
very good. Coach, we'll talk to you a little bit later. We'll talk about the Wichita Falls Nighthawks, the next game coming up for the Sioux Falls Storm this Saturday.
All right, thanks, Rich.
He is the head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm, Kurtiss Riggs. And this segment brought to you by Eastway Bowl and Eastway Lounge. Coming up next, we'll be talking to Robbie Rouse, but the next viewing party is this coming Saturday, and the Storm will be down in Wichita Falls. Check it out at Eastway Bowl and Eastway Lounge. Also, Budweiser Beer Distributing Specials. We'll be back right after this.
Moms, dads, this year, the Storm have once again put together Storm.com.
When you think rugged, when you think...
If you like to bowl, roll on into Eastway Bowl. Hey, wait a minute. Eastway Bowl is more than just bowling. It's a full of fun entertainment center. There's many things to do. Games, and more games, plus food. Great food. Come into our full-service sports bar and grill where you'll find terrific drinks with our popular late-night specials. Watch all your favorite sporting events at Eastway. Visit our website to make your bowling reservations and find out more about the full fun experience. Eastway Bowl and Entertainment Center, where there's something for everyone.
Possibility. From starting a family to starting a business. Everywhere there's possibility, there's Premier. Believe in possibility. First Premier Bank.
Your body is a complex arrangement of bone and tissue that requires only the best to maintain it. At Orthopedic Institute, that's our specialty. Our services have been specifically tailored to provide the best orthopedic care in the region. Orthopedics is what we do. That's why Orthopedic Institute is the one to trust to keep your body in motion.
More than a meal, it's a flavor experience. And after the interview, we'll take your third call at 336-1230 for 4 free tickets to the next home game, May 6th, as the Storm hosts the Spokane Empire. Right now, they're leading the Intense Conference. That one is going to be a dandy. Joining us now via the fan line, he is the Mighty Mouse, Robbie Rouse. Thanks for being on the Kurtiss Riggs Show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, I tell you what, Robbie, you have been a lot of fun to watch play football. You're a tremendous competitor, but watching you run that 49-yard touchdown, that was a thing of beauty last Saturday night. Tell us all about it.
Man, it was just we were just in a perfect situation. It was a perfect play call. Once I got the toss, I just knew that we had him, and I knew I wasn't going to let the linebacker catch me with my speed because they run a lot of man-to-man.
Uh-huh. But things were getting down to that other end of the field. That goal line started to look a little bit farther away, didn't it, for a while?
Yeah, it did. It did for a little bit, but I was able to get in the end zone, and we was able to go by 2 touchdowns, so that was good.
And that sets a new record for the Indoor Football League this season for the longest touchdown run, 49 yards. And congratulations for that. No one's going to beat it because they don't go by halves or three-quarters, so you'll always have that in the record book for yourself. Well, tell us a little bit. I
appreciate that.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. You grew up out in, California, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
And then you went to Fresno State. Tell us about your time out there at Fresno State.
Yeah, so I'm from San Diego, California, and I was privileged to get a full-ride scholarship to Fresno State, and I played there for 4 years. Was fortunate enough to start for three years. So I had some great years out there. Was able to get some records. So, yeah, Fresno's like a second home to me.
Well, the thing about it is, what people don't realize is that how many times have you been told you're not big enough to play football, especially at a professional level, being 5'6"?
And that's been the story my whole life. But, you know, it's really motivation, and I really don't see the problem because I really use my size as an advantage because, you know, I got linemen across the board, 6'6".
Uh-huh.
So whenever they can't see me behind those big boys, and when they can, it's too late. So I really use my size to my advantage at my position.
You know, I don't know how many times I've said that during the course of a broadcast when you've been running the ball, that you basically are hidden back there, and they can't find you. And like you said, by the time they do, then it's too late because then you found the seam, you found the opening, and you're able to get in there, sometimes ducking underneath them, and you get into the end zone.
Absolutely correct.
You know, but the thing about it is, there's always been a saying in sports, there's only so much a dog in the fight, but it's the fight inside the dog that makes the difference. And I think that's where you come in because you have such a heart for the game. Tell us about that.
I'm a highly competitor. I've always been a competitor in my life. Like, if we're playing rock, paper, scissors, Connect Four, Monopoly, it doesn't matter. I always want to win.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's what's special about our team because everybody from top to bottom feels the same way. We're just truly competitors. We want to win at all aspects of life, and that reflects on the field and off the field.
We're talking with Robbie Rouse, the Mighty Mouse for the Sioux Falls Storm on the year. He's number 1 in Storm rushing, 406 yards. He is number 1 in the IFL, averaging over 50 yards per game, and he's second in touchdowns in the IFL with 11. Also has 7 receptions for 75 yards. Now, in the offseason, I understand that you're a coach out in the San Diego school system. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I coach at my old high school. We had a great season last year. We were able to win, be state champions. So that was a great year for us. So I really enjoy the game of football. So football for me is 365 days out the year. It's football nonstop. So whether I'm in season or out of season, I'm always football. So, I mean, I really enjoy coaching. I really enjoy just helping the kids go to men's and sending them off to college and just helping them become better people on and off the field.
So what position do you coach? Running backs?
I'm a running back coach.
Uh-huh.
So I'm a running back coach, and I'll be the freshman. I'm a varsity running back coach, and I'm a freshman offensive coordinator coach.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is that something that you wanted to get into full-time after your playing days are over?
Yeah, I really, like I said, football, I love it. So after I'm done playing, hopefully as years and years to come, I look forward to trying to coach at the next ranks as far as college. So that's definitely something I want to do. So I'm getting my feet wet by coaching in high school. This will be my third year right now coming up in the fall, so I'm looking forward to that. Well, if you don't make it to football, understand you played a pretty good game of tennis when you're in high school, too. Maybe you'll be coaching that. Man, tennis was something I did. Like, we had a little after-school program, and tennis was just something I picked up, and I actually enjoyed the game, and that's something I do for my leisure time now to this day. But tennis was definitely a fun game, and I still like to play it. Keeps you active. Well, Robbie, it's great to have you at the Sioux Falls Storm, and what you've contributed this year has been amazing, and you're just a lot of fun to watch, and thanks for being on the Kurtiss Riggs Show today. Much appreciated. You do a great job as well. My mom loves to hear you every weekend and week out. My family does as well. Well, much appreciated. Thank you very much. Robbie Rouse, running back with the Sioux Falls Storm. Coming up next, we'll be talking to Matt Hermanson. But when we go to break, we'll take your third call at 336-1234. Free tickets for that Spokane game coming up on May 6th. This is the Kurtiss Riggs Show right here on 98.1, 1230. Sports Radio, KWSN.
Your house is not only a home.
Breathe easier when you have your ducts cleaned by Waterbury. Call us today.
As the weather changes, so do your plans for the hour, the day, and the week. You can expect the KSFY Severe Weather Team to bring you the most accurate forecasts, giving you early warnings when the weather gets rough and how long the storms last. With over 50 years of combined experience, you can expect more with the KSFY Severe Weather Team.
When you think rugged, when you think tough, when you think big, think of the best transportation solutions mile after mile. When you think big, think Boyer Trucks. We keep you moving.
If you like to bowl, roll on into Eastway Bowl. Hey, wait a minute. Eastway Bowl is more than just bowling. It's a full of fun entertainment center. There's many things to do. Games, and more games, plus food. Great food. Come into our full-service sports bar and grill where you'll find terrific drinks with our popular late-night specials. Watch all your favorite sporting events at Eastway. Visit our website to make your bowling reservations and find out more about the full fun experience. Eastway Bowl and Entertainment Center, where there's something for everyone.
You're listening to the Kurtiss Riggs Show, brought to you by Sioux Falls Specialty Hospital and by Orthopedic Institute on 98.1, 1230. Sports Radio, KWSN. Back to the show. Here's Rich Roste.
And welcome back to the Kurtiss Riggs Show. And this segment, again, brought to you by Wingstop of Sioux Falls. More than a meal, it's a flavor experience. And we'll take your third caller, 336-1230, after we go off the, after we get done with the interview. And then also, if I don't mention it, after we go off the air at the end of the show, we'll also be giving away 4 free tickets courtesy of Wingstop for that May 6th game against the Spokane Empire. Joining us via the fan line, the defensive back with the Sioux Falls Storm, Matt Hermanson. Matt, thanks for being on the Kurtiss Riggs Show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, I tell you what, you're one of the very few and probably the only one on the Storm team that born and raised in Sioux Falls, went to high school here, and came back to play. You are the only one, I think, aren't you?
Yeah, I think I am. I'm pretty lucky to have such an organization in my home city, and I've been blessed. The Lord's given me the ability to be able to play the game at a high level, so I've been pretty lucky.
Well, I remember many years ago when you were just a kid, and I was at a Storm practice, and I remember you walking off the field with your dad. Brian Hermanson was the defensive coordinator at his first time with the Sioux Falls Storm. and you guys were walking off towards the parking lot, and you were holding his hand, and I remember you looking up to him, and he's saying something to you, and I thought, well, that's really a neat picture. And now, fast forward, and you two are both on the field, but you're a player now, and that's got to really be a cool thing to be playing on a team that your dad's coaching in a professional level.
Yeah, it's really cool. He's been my coach throughout most of my life. He's my high school coach, and he coached me in all my ABL and all the basketball leagues and all that thing. So it's pretty cool that we both be together on the professional level, like you said.
Well, coming into this week, for the Storm, Matt, you have your number 2 in tackles behind Tyler Knight. You have 38 tackles. You have 3 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions, 3 broken passes, and it has been a great start this season for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, the team's gotten off to a hot start. I mean, our D-line's been getting pressure, and everyone's just been doing their job right now, so it's making things a little bit easier.
This is a question that I oftentimes ask guys that have been on the team for a while. What do you know now about playing indoor football that you didn't have a clue about when you started playing it 3 years ago?
People are going to make plays. It's just how are you going to adapt and overcome, and can you move on past people making plays on you? That's what I've really figured out. I mean, these guys, everyone gets paid to play. It's a professional league, and they get paid to make plays too.
And there are the athletes. You think about the athletes that you're facing. You went out to Montana and played very competitively, very high level out at the University of Montana. But you get into this league, pretty much everybody that you're playing against were all conference, all Americans, had NFL tryouts. They played in Canada. I mean, you're playing against some tremendous talent week in and week out, and also play in and play out, aren't you?
Yeah, I think we have the best receiving core in the league. So practices make us the best, and you say steel sharpens steel. So I think we get a great look at practice, and that helps us prepare for the other guys in the league.
One of the things that you had written down on the questionnaire that I had given to all the players at the start of the season was the brawl in the wild, and we're talking to Matt Hermanson. Tell us about what the brawl in the wild is.
The brawl in the wild is it's a Montana thing. It's a University of Montana versus Montana State, so it's a big rivalry game, and it's nothing else. There's the atmosphere they have out there. It's just something else out there. There's no words for it. It's just we don't like each other. A lot of hate. So it's a fun time. Once a year that game comes around, you want to be able to play your best.
So folks around here, you'd have to equate it for USD, SDSU.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty much the same thing, but I don't think there's no Grizz and the Cats. They don't get along very well. So,
well, my wife and I were traveling this for last fall, and we went through that area and went by the University of Montana, and I can tell you, folks that are listening, if you have not been out there, I do not blame Matt at all for going out there to play. Absolutely beautiful area out there, and you had to have fallen in love with it. And it was probably tough for you to come back here to the Flatland.
Oh, yeah, those mountains, I miss them every day, but I had to make the best life choices, and I came back to Sioux Falls, and I'm very grateful that I did. I had plenty of opportunities where I'm at right now. So I've just been blessed, but you're right, Montana is a beautiful state, and I got a lot of cool places to go out there.
Well, Matt, thanks for being on the Kurtiss Riggs Show, and thanks for all the things that you have brought to the Sioux Falls Storm during the time that you've been playing with us.
Thanks for having me, and I just want to give a shout-out to my mom. I know she's listening. I just want to say I love you, and thanks for being there for me, Mom.
Perfect, Matt. Well done.
All right. Have a good day. Bye.
We'll see you on the bus when we head down to Wichita Falls. But Matt Hermanson, defensive back with the Sioux Falls Storm. And now, when we go to break, we'll take your third call, 336-1230 for 4 free tickets to the game coming up on May 6th against the Spokane Empire. This is courtesy of Wingstop of Sioux Falls. More than a meal, it's a flavor experience. And back right after this.
If you haven't been to Eastway Sports Lounge and Grill lately, here's what you're missing. Specialty burgers like the Mac Burger, creamy mac and cheese on top of a bacon burger, and the tastiest wings and handmade pizzas on the east side of Sioux Falls. Haven't spent happy hour at Eastway? Don't miss Twofers Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Deuces Wild Saturday and Sunday, 3 to 6 p.m. $2.75 well drinks and domestic beers. Miss a day at Eastway Sports Lounge and Grill, and you miss a lot.
At Midwest Family Care, we know your healthcare needs are as unique as...
Mom, have you seen my exploding bug zapper?
as each member in your family. That's why we focus on innovative and personalized care that's convenient for you. We offer quality time with our providers, same-day appointments, and even extended hours upon request. Expert care, just when you need it. Choose Midwest Family Care, a division of Sioux Falls Specialty Hospital. For more information, visit sfsh.com.
Do you know what insurance agency is #1 with Sioux Falls Storm fans? It's the Insurance Connection and Auto Owners Insurance. They're a winning combination, and they'll work with you to insure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, and secure. That's Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit the Insurance Connection in Sioux Falls today at insconnection.com.
No matter what you do, getting the job done is what it's all about. And that's where Boyer Trucks and Western Star come in. For 50 years, Western Star has been in the lead when it comes to legendary reliability and toughness. Here in Sioux Falls at 2101 East Benson Road, with extended parts and service hours, Boyer Trucks has been keeping you moving since 1996. Look to Boyer Trucks for diesel engine parts and service for all makes, including Cat, Detroit Diesel, Cummins, and Ford. Boyer Trucks services all Ford vehicles, from the Focus to the mighty F-750. Boyer Trucks, we keep you moving.
You're listening to the Kurtiss Riggs Show, brought to you by Sioux Falls Specialty Hospital and by Orthopedic Institute on 98.1, 1230 Sports Radio, KWSN. Back to the show. Here's Rich Roste.
And the game preview is brought to you by Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs. And Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs are located at 917 South Cliff Avenue. Sliced fresh, baked fresh, made fresh, and come see what fresh really is. That's at Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs. He is the head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm, Kurtiss Riggs. Coach will be heading down to Wichita Falls to take on the Nighthawks. They're probably going to be gunning for us a little bit after the Sioux Falls Storm defeated them 55-21, and they're coming off a loss to Colorado 77-73. So I'd have to believe that their interest in this game is peaking.
You know, I think there was probably a lot of focus and interest on this game even going into last week. I'm sure, you know, their guys probably were looking past Colorado. You know, maybe that was our problem too. But they're going to be very fired up. They're giving free tickets away for the game. So they're hoping to have a great crowd. I hope they do. You love that type of atmosphere. You love that playoff-type football. So it'll be a good one. They're a very physical, athletic team, and it's one afterwards you definitely know that you played Wichita.
Their quarterback, Charles McCullum, was the IFL League MVP last season. They are missing Angelo Peace. The running back is on injured reserve, and Tyron Laughinghouse is also on injured reserve. But they have others like Jordan Jolly and Phil Bennett and Tyler Williams. They have a great core of offensive weapons because they put up tremendous numbers every time except when they played the Sioux Falls Storm the first time.
Well, yeah, I don't even consider Angelo Pease. I mean, that probably makes their offense better because that means Tyler Williams is going to be out there all the time.
Okay.
I mean, he's a home run threat every single day. He is like a young James Jones, and I don't know if many people remember him. I know you would, Rich, but just every time he gets the ball in his hands, he's getting positive yards, and guys like that are just really scary. And so I think they're better with Angelo hurt. You know, Laughinghouse is a loss. He's a very talented receiver, but they're loaded at receiver.
Yeah.
You know, they just traded for the Offensive Player of the Year. You know, Washington is on their team now, so they got Washington, Troy Evans, Jolly, Barnett. I mean, they've got guys that it's like when you're creating a video game and you're making your own team. I mean, these are the type of guys that you get. And so, yeah, they're used to those high numbers, but we were able to get after them last game. Hopefully we're able to do that down there again.
How about their defense? Tell us about that.
You know, their defense is scary because when you look at a defense through the middle, I mean, you got, the big Walt he is probably the strongest, the strongest, physically most imposing defensive lineman in the league. And then you get the linebacker behind him, Josh Francis, who I think is tremendous. He is very, very gifted. And then behind him, you got Michael Green at free safety, who, you know, he's been two-time All-League when he was with Billings. So in the middle of their defense, they are very, very good. But it seems like for some reason, you know, especially against Colorado, they had no focus. They missed a ton of tackles. I hope that carries over, but I'm sure their coach is going to have them pretty focused for us.
Billy Back has high intensity, to say the least, as far as his coaching style. Great competitor that he is. Coach, bottom line for this game down in Wichita Falls. This is, you know, you're facing a team that's kind of a little bit backed against the wall. They're a game and a half behind the Storm right now. They want to make sure that they stay in that close proximity to the Sioux Falls Storm. Plus, they have Iowa chomping on the bit behind them. This is a very, very critical game for them down there in front of their home fans. Yeah, it is. And, I mean, they're going to be ready to go. I mean, no matter what, they would be fired up for us coming down there. You know, it's weird, though, a scheduling quirk where they play Iowa twice this year, and both times are at Wichita Falls. They don't go to Iowa at all, which in our division, and they never go there. So I'm sure Iowa is you know, crying wolf a little bit about that. But we play them 3 times, and we get them twice at our place. Yeah. So it's tough place. It's such a tough road trip. I mean, it's so demanding on the guys' bodies. Being on a bus for that long is just so grueling for these guys, especially the offensive and defensive linemen. They're not able to stretch their legs. Their bodies are already aching from the previous game. So it takes its toll. And so we'll try to get down there a little bit earlier, try to have a practice down there, try to get our legs back under us, and hopefully we get a better start than we had in Greenbay, because you just can't fall to these guys 17-0. Coach, what time does the bus leave? We're going to leave Thursday night, and we're going to leave late, 11:18, Rich, is when we're going to take off. So we're going to bus through the night, sleep. We got a sleeper bus. We're going to fantastic. Everyone's going to doze off, and we'll wake up, and we'll be in somewhere. I have no idea where. We'll be somewhere when we wake up for a nice breakfast and then get to Wichita Falls and enjoy the nice weather down there. Fantastic, Coach. Well, we'll talk to you on the bus Thursday night. All right. Thanks, Rich. Talk to you soon. Very good. He is the head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm, Kurtiss Riggs. And when we come back, we'll have our final segment of the Kurtiss Riggs Show. And after we go off the air, we'll have your third call at 336-1230 for Wingstop ticket giveaway. But this segment's been brought to you by Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs, and they're 917 South Cliff Avenue. They have been sponsors of the Sioux Falls Storm since day one. Just stop by, check out, see what fresh really is. This is the Kurtiss Riggs Show right here on 98.1 1230 Sports Radio KWSN.
Hey there.
You think rugged. When you think tough. When you think big. Think of the best transportation solutions mile after mile. When you think big, think Boyer Trucks. We keep you moving.
today, but he did want me to pass on tomorrow night. Tomorrow night at the Burnside Bingo, it's a Storm family night from 5 until 8 o'clock. You need to have reservations. It's $15 a person, so go ahead and check with Jim Loria at jim@SiouxFallsStorm.com. Get your reservations there. This is a part of the fundraiser for the school system and for all of the things. And Burnside Bingo has just been fantastic for the sponsorship that they have been for the Sioux Falls Storm. Also, a couple of things coming up. Chip in for Heroes Golf event that's sponsored by Johnstone Supply. That's going to be on June 7th at Baker Crossing. And then Sporting Clay Shootout Fundraiser. That's the 4th annual shootout. That's also brought to you by Johnstone Supply. That's going to be on August 26th. And all these things going on. Just check on the Storm website, and you can get all of the information of all of the great things that are done by the Sioux Falls Storm in the community. When we go to break, we'll take your third caller at 336-1230. 4 free tickets, courtesy of Wingstop, for the Storm game against the Spokane Empire. I want to thank John Michaels, our studio producer and engineer, for keeping us on track all season long, and especially today. And I want to thank all of you, our listening audience, for making us a part of your afternoon. This has been Sioux Falls Sports Radio, 98.1, 1230 KWSN. Have a great evening, everybody.
Sioux Falls